Eric Scheidler here, Executive Director of the Pro-Life Action League. Yesterday was the 51st anniversary of the Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton rulings from the United States Supreme Court that stripped unborn babies of their right to life in every state in the country. Of course, that ruling was overturned in 2021's Dobbs versus Jackson case. But yesterday's anniversary is still an important one, and many people on both the pro-life side and the pro-abortion side had things to say about it. But I want to talk about today, this anniversary. This is the 51st anniversary of the day that my father, Joe Scheidler, pictured here at one of our protests, when he learned about these rulings and found himself completely twisted around by what had happened. He happened to be homesick at that time, and he was reading all 4 Chicago papers, as he did as a good ad man. He was an advertising guy in those days, and he got all 4 papers: the Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Daily News, which I used to deliver actually when I was in 7th grade until it went out of business, and Chicago Today. And he talks in his memoir, Racketeer for Life, about the experience of learning about these rulings. Now, my mother was pregnant with my sister Kathy, my first of 3 sisters, at that time in 1973. And my father wrote this in his memoir. As I read, I thought about our unborn child, 5 months in the womb. Initial reporting about Roe made it seem like her life might be still protected under the law. The Doe ruling made it clear that it was not. My dad wrote, "The twin rulings struck me as a suicide note for our country. Our claim to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, to be a refuge for the tired and the poor, now seemed a ghastly sarcasm." Here was the Supreme Court of the United States declaring that every child in the womb was no longer protected by the laws of our land. What kind of a message does that send to the whole world about the promise of America, the promise of life, of liberty, of the pursuit of happiness? What kind of happiness can there be in a land where unborn children are being slaughtered by, at that time, the hundreds, then thousands, then millions? Now over 62 million have lost their lives to abortion, even though Roe v. Wade's been overturned and some states now protect the lives of unborn children. So I want to call to mind the conviction, the fervor that was raised up in his heart when he learned about those rulings. Even though he was homesick in bed, he knew he had to do something about it. That was when his life as a pro-life activist began. My family joined the pro-life movement, and it's never been the same since. Here we are 51 years later, 51 years after that date, and we're still fighting. We're still carrying on Joe Scheidler's legacy, which is simply this: to proclaim that every unborn child has a right to life, that every unborn child is a beloved child of God, that every unborn child deserves to be welcomed into the human family, even in cases when things are difficult, when times are tough. We cannot be telling poor women, you don't deserve to be mothers. We cannot be telling poor men, you are not equipped to be good fathers. We need to be raising them up to be the mothers and fathers that they can be, to really fulfill that promise, not only in the Statue of Liberty, but in the Declaration of Independence, in our hearts as Americans, in the heart of Joe Scheidler, in the heart of all those whose hearts were broken by Roe v. Wade and who have dedicated their lives to trying to undo that damage. Roe v. Wade is gone, but abortion is still here. So let's carry on the legacy of Joe Scheidler on this anniversary of the day that his heart was moved. Thanks for watching. God bless you.